Welcome to the 5:30 p.m. March 14th, 2023 CRA meeting. We do have a quorum, so I will call this meeting to order. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? And the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you please read the rules to speak?
Yes, sir. Individuals wishing to speak on agenda items must complete a sign-up card prior to the item being introduced. Sign-up cards are available on the table in the council chamber. Individuals wishing to speak on non-agenda items may do so under petitions from the public present. No sign-up card is required. Citizens will be given 3 minutes to speak on all items. All sign-up cards and exhibits being submitted to the CRA shall be placed in the box on the table in the council chamber.
Thank you so very much. I was going to say council, board. I need approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve the CRA meeting minutes of February 14th, 2023.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Minutes are accepted. City Manager.
Good evening, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and CRA board members. We're on old business, which is item 7A, which is the FY 2024 proposed CRA budget. At the February 2023 CRA meeting, the CRA came to consensus regarding the proposed FY 2024 budget, but requested a street art be added as an item for the Trail Town Amenities Capital Improvements Budget account. A copy of the draft 2024 CRA budget with street art specifically mentioned as an item from the Trail Town Amenities Capital Improvements Project account. Staff contacted a representative from FDOT to determine if the discussed street art is permitted on FDOT's jurisdictional rights-of-way. Based on the email, it appears the intersection crosswalk artwork possibility can be approved with a landscape hardscape agreement with FDOT. However, once installed, the city will be responsible for in perpetuity for the any issues, including maintenance. And staff's available to answer any questions that you may have on the budget.
Member Nelson.
Where'd staff go? I'm used to them being there. Yeah, they're hiding in the back. I would like to continue with the street art, the landscape hardscape agreement with FDOT. Looking around town, it seems like the most appropriate or most beneficial place would be US 1, but the city manager suggested down by Scobie Park, and I thought it'd be nice to have one over by the Playhouse, sort of proclaiming that in our district. So I would like to see us continue with it. I know the city of Cocoa did one, and they ran the figures on how much it was going to cost for the maintenance. So I think it seemed doable. I did not get those exact figures back, but I would like to continue with that.
Sure, and we'll provide cost estimates and the process to figure out if you choose to do street art, the process to figure out what that artwork is going to look like and allow you to further discuss where it should possibly go.
I think it'd be cool. Thanks.
Anyone else on the comment on street art? Call the cards, please.
Stan Johnston.
Stan has his own street art. No, this is about street art.
It's actually the
Is it budget?
yeah. What happened is you asked us to come back with
Okay.
street art.
It is about the budget, but we're specifically speaking about street art, so you're good either way.
Oh, all right. So
My bad.
I'd like to see on the budget. Stan Johnston. Stan Johnston. I lost 5 seconds. That's okay. And I'm representing myself as a professional engineer. And here's what's going on. Is that it's interesting? Is that today I got a letter from through FDEP dated March the 10th. It's a sewage spill, 50,000 gallons. Maybe y'all don't know about that. Right into CRA area, 50,000 gallons. September the 30th, it says that we got a sewage spill, 50,000 gallons. And then a notice here here's a letter that I send often to Virginia Blaylock. It says, please contact city manager and all council members to return my call at blank, 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 blank regarding the following three matters: sewage spills, SNJ Oaks project, and city's secret sewer moratorium. I mention that because there's gag orders right now. And what's that got to do with the budget? Well, the budget is that there's many people who have been asking for some testing done. And right now is that there's a half-cent sales tax that has $550 million. $550 million. How much of that is going to be spent on testing for poisons and toxins and let's say, herbicides and pesticides? Guess how much? On that $550 million, they're going to appropriate $0. $0. Now, you've got a budget here. I'd like you to test some of this, what's going on into our river. This river is very important. It's more important for us than Melbourne, because Melbourne's not that dirty like we have. But it's horrible. And if you could test it, maybe you can find out. So they've got some kind of agreement that they're going to spend $0 on any testing. We can do it. You can do it. I don't think it's that expensive. And I'd like you to put it in your budget. I mentioned this about telephone calls to me, requesting telephone calls, because I did have one meeting with, what's his name? Mr. Diesel. And
What's his name?
yeah, and so I can tell you what we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about sewage spills. No, sir. We didn't talk about that. We can talk about football, but not sewage spills. So I want you to know we've got gag orders. Gag orders employees, keep their mouth shut. And this seems like it's the same thing going on with council and our city manager. So this issue about sewage spills and pollution of our river is important. I'd like you to address it on your draft budget. Thank you.
Next card, please.
No more cards.
Okay, council. I'm not really council, I just want to say.
Move to approve, accept the proposed fiscal year 2024 budget.
Second.
I have a motion from Member Nelson, a second from Member Cole. Roll call vote.
Member Aker?
Yes.
Member Cole?
Yes.
Member Nelson? Yes. Chairman Diesel?
Yes.
Vice Chair Robinson?
Yes.
Member Ball?
Yes.
Member Stokel?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. City manager.
On to item 8A, which is the FY 2022 CRA annual report. And staff is requesting that you approve the FY 22 annual report for the City of Titusville's Community Redevelopment Agency and approve the transmittal of the report to the CRA's creating municipality, the City of Titusville, to meet its 31 March deadline. After the financial audit information has been completed, it will be added to the report and posted as required by the Florida statutes, and courtesy copies will be sent to the taxing authorities in the county. Staff's available to answer any questions you have about the FY 2022 annual report.
Vice Mayor.
Yeah, this is the same, basically the same way it's done every year. We approve it, they get the audit, and we get notified of that, and we move forward.
Yes, sir. And our CAFR, it's a comprehensive annual audits underway right now, and part of that is the CRA's audit, which will be internal to the city's audit. We'll break that out and post it with this and then send it to the appropriate agencies.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments, council? Member Ball.
Only to thank staff again for, I think, they always do a great job on this annual report. I know it's a required deliverable, but they put plenty of effort into it, and we're proud of it. I'm proud of it, so I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Member Ball. Anybody else? I see none. Call cards.
Stan Johnston?
This is the annual report, sir.
Yes, it is, annual report. So I have my name is Stan Johnson. I'm a professional engineer. I'm not very interested in what's going on in CRA, especially, we've got waterfront, things got going on. And you've seen this before. You don't like to see it. I know you don't like to see it. It says sewage spray and so forth, and it says vomiting, diarrhea, and so forth. And now we have something new. We have a boy who has been, he's paralyzed. And it seems to be from the sewage spray. And that seems like it's something that should be on your budget because you guys are responsible. I mean, you didn't turn off the fountains. Didn't turn off the fountains. Right now, for example, council members will not talk to me about sewage spills. We've got gag orders. So I guess I'm asking the question, perhaps Mr. Broom can answer, is that how are we going to handle this? Let's say protection of our let's say our council and our CRA staff for allowing this to happen. You know, the excuse is that FDEP said it's okay. But you know, I understand is that I'm a professional engineer, not just professional engineer, but civil engineer. That has got to do with sanitary sewer. In all these BS programs, Bachelor of Science, I'm the only one. And I came to you as an expert witness. I asked you to turn the fountains off. So I think at least you can put in your budget something, expenditures of like turning the valve to turn the fountains off. You understand is when this happened is that it happened again. It happened again last year. Fountains on at the senior center. The big pond there became another, what do you call it? Cesspool, open cesspool. You guys are responsible for that. I would think, for example, Dr. Aker would have some input on that because, you know, he's got a doctor title. Dr. Stokel doesn't have like an MD type, but it's dangerous stuff. It's hazardous. And I'm speaking to you as a professional who is licensed to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And you guys have failed. So I don't know how you're putting in your, as far as expenditures on your, on this, what you expended last year, but it seems like it should be. If not, it's going to be at least on, it should be on your next budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other cards? Council, board? What do we call them?
Move to approve the fiscal year 2022 annual report for the city of Titusville CRA.
Second.
Oh,
I have
and I have to approve the transmittal of the report to the CRA's creating municipality.
Ooh,
Sorry about that.
job.
Second
I
remains.
wouldn't have thought of that. All right, I have the motion from Member Nelson, the second from Member Stokel. Roll call vote.
Member Cole?
Yes.
Member Nelson? Yes. Chairman Diesel?
Yes.
Vice Chair Robinson?
Yes.
Member Ball?
Yes.
Member Stokel?
Yes.
Member Aker?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We move on to petitions and requests.
Tony Schiffalo, the historic Norwood House, Tropic Street. I'm here tonight because I realize that the CRA includes most of the downtown historic district, or that all of the historic district downtown is in the CRA. And I went last year to a Main Street America conference and learned a lot. And I've lived in a lot of towns, Stone Mountain, Georgia, for instance, that had Main Street America. And I realized we don't have enough resources or probably interest to actually do a Main Street America, and I realize the history that it has been tried before. I don't want to go there. I just want to say that I'm aware of the different kinds of activities and things that can happen. And when I first moved to Titusville before the COVID, we had a lot of activities downtown that brought people down. And then I realized that that situation, the pandemic, changed everything for everybody. But I think it's time we can move past that and get back again. And I especially love the downtown art, but I don't want to limit it to just static art. You know that I was a professional juggler and musician. I want to see activity downtown, and with the possibility of the theater district that we're establishing over on Julia Street, I just think there's so many possibilities to think outside the box. And I would like to encourage the CRA especially to come up with these ideas and activities. And if you need any help, I've got like 40 years as an entertainer with experience, and I've been all over the world. I could tell you how it's done a lot of places and offer a lot of suggestions. So thank you very much for hearing me.
Thank you. Sounds promising. And I agree. I'd like to get back out there much more than we are. Petitions, requests.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I got two. Member Nelson.
Tony. Some of the merchants downtown have been talking about it, and I'm going to say Nancy Hoffman and Heidi from the art gallery and Gypsy talking about doing things downtown. So the last time, and Debbie Schiller was in on it. So the last I knew, they were getting together and talking.
I should contact them.
You should contact them.
I take that as a great recommendation. Thank you.
And additionally, the Hamiltons, which is the old Cafe Chocolat Hotel, as well as the bank, they're planning on opening sometime next month. And the ground floor of that is supposed to be an activities kind of creative center. So I'd encourage you to get a hold of the Hamiltons as well, because I think that'll be a centerpiece for our city.
Yes,
I
thank you.
see a lot of activity on the way. Hold on. Member Ball.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to also mention it. I think one of the things critical to Main Street is and always has been a very, very substantial skin in the game by the merchants and the business owners and that sort of thing in the downtown, and it just doesn't succeed without that. So I'm happy to hear that they're talking about that. I only wanted to mention that, and I may have previously said that when I attended the Florida Redevelopment Conference last year, or several months ago, it seems like last year, I guess it was last year, but my awareness was certainly heightened about the do's and the don'ts with respect to how you can spend CRA money, particularly a lot of caution yellow lights on events. And sponsoring events and putting money into events. And I know that I won't put the counselor on the spot right now, but attorneys that spoke at that annual conference answered a lot of questions from a lot of CRA representatives that looked like they were deer in the headlights. I go, oh my gosh, and we got all of this stuff going on. You're telling us it may not be legal? They said, yeah, it may not be legal. So it's just a caution flag, that's all, about how we can spend CRA money. It doesn't mean there aren't other avenues to support something, and I think that what you're recommending would be a big plus for the downtown.
Good comment. Good
Thank
job. Any other cards? There's not cards on this. My bad. My bad. I had you thinking though. He said, "Wait a minute." Did I put a
Stan
card in?
Johnston, professional engineer. And I handed this out to y'all the last time I met with you. And it's just a one sheet. And it sounds like somebody who's crying wolf. That's me. I'm crying wolf. I see the wolves. Nobody's coming. The wolves in this case are eating the sheep and killing the sheep. So like for example, I just gave you that sheet of paper that I send for council members and the city manager to return my calls, and that's been going on for years. City manager, when he came here, he promised me he was going to get with me and talk with me and so forth. And after 2 months, he changed his mind. So since 2014, he's, as far as I know, he hasn't really responded to any of my phone calls, emails, and so forth. And the same thing with you guys. I think what you need to do is spend at least 10 minutes in the timeout chair when you go home, because you're not reading my emails. At least 10 minutes. Maybe for Mr. Diesel, 15 minutes. You need to read these emails. The timeout chairs that we have at our house are just about worn out. We've got 2 grandsons. But I think you can pick your own timeout chair. On the sheet, it says Tau Beta Pi. That's me. That's Honorary Society in Engineering. So today is a special day. 3.1415926 pi. March 14th, this is Pi Day. So while you're in your timeout chair, have yourself a piece of pie and celebrate. I'm speaking about I'm crying wolf and nobody's coming. And this has to do with many of the things on here is I'm crying wolf. Like, for example, dams in the city of Titusville designed to flood property, but do not show what property they flood. Several dams. Dams in the city of Titusville designed, installed, and not permitted, not contacted FEMA. This has been on the list for many years. Water does not flow downhill, but in many cases, the city of Titusville has an expectation that it flows uphill. It doesn't work. So, and that's what happened in just a project that I was looking at, SNJ Oaks. The design didn't work because water flows downhill. So I'm asking you to look at this again and to do something. Do something. I mean, spraying people with sewage is not good, and there's other things that I've been advising about because that's my license to do that, and it's my duty. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other petitions or requests? I see none. Executive Director?
Your last item for consideration tonight is item 10A, which is the Executive Director's report. Subject to your questions, it completes my report.
Anybody have any questions? She's moving over there. I don't know.
Well, I had a question, but my
Member
question,
Cole has a question.
yes, to Member Ball. Does anyone have a list of what we can spend CRA money on? And what, do we know?
It's in the plan,
Okay,
CRA plan.
so
And
you
any item
watch that
we-
for us?
Yes, sir. Any item that we
Okay.
bring before you has to be in the plan.
Okay.
Or you'll need to amend your plan and go through the agency process to amend your plan.
Okay,
I would add to that, if I might, that I think there's a chapter statute that governs what CRAs can spend the money on, and it was amended because of a lawsuit filed in South Florida over an objection of how one CRA down there was spending their money. And I'm no expert in it, but a lot of discussion about that statute. I think every CRA member should read it. And if there's questions, I would defer to the the city attorney to help provide any context for that. But generally, it's the plan, but you can have things in the plan that, you approve a plan that may include things that aren't strictly speaking allowable under the statute.
okay.
And the focus is brick and mortar, but beyond brick and mortar, there's things you can do. There's a good deal of latitude there, but it's not as easy as it seems to just say. You can't just say we want to have a great big bash in downtown and we'll throw $50,000 of CRA money into it. You can't do that.
Okay, thank you.
I remember when, in 2016, and it's probably because we had 3 new council members and a new mayor, but I remember we had some CRA trainings. I think that they were regular CRA meetings and we had some training, because I remember learning those things. And when you said that, I was like, wow, it's pretty cool. I know that. So I guess what I'm getting at is if there's anything we need to do, because we've got certainly a couple new members that may not be as aware of CRA, yeses and nos, but when in doubt, you seek city attorney out if nobody else, and city manager would be very aware of that as well. But I think we got trained 2 or 3 times. I think we had some seminars on that. So with that, I certainly understand your questions. I really do. There's no reason you would know that until you got here.
Hey, one other just point of information that it's a resource that's available to all the members of the CRA and City Council, of course, is the Florida Redevelopment Association. The city's a member. You can get regular emails, so they have, it's just a wealth of information on their website if you so care.
All right. City manager, executive director, good? Everybody good? See you at 6:30. Meeting adjourned.